Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for my client Ted's Conjugate training vlog. It's been weeks, it's probably been a month or two, maybe more, since we did any vlogs with Ted. We did the strongman stuff, we did a little bit of base building, we didn't really vlog that, we just did some volume work with the classic lifts. Now we've come back over to Conjugate. We're getting ready to do more types of competition. He really enjoyed Conjugate, so we went back over to this programming. These got a little bit out of order, so we started off with max effort floor press. So we did a floor press, and then I had him do flat benching, but my stuff got a little out of order. So we have overhead press being done here. As you guys see, he's repping out, doing rep work with a full plate. So again, we're doing a lot more volume for him in terms of reps. So I've kind of told him I don't think we need a lot of really heavy work right now. I want a lot of 8+ reps. Right, because our heavy work can be the max effort. So in this case, so for our max effort upper day, we did extra pause work on the flat bench afterwards. Then we did overhead press, chins, and then we did some arm work. Right, we did some curls. He did some skull crushers, some extensions. But here he is doing the back off work here. And I'm trying to keep most of his work up in about that 10 to 12 rep range. A lot of what I personally work with, and a lot of my conjugate guys are always like, really, should we be doing this many reps all the time? And the reality is, unless I have them kind of peaking for an event, most of my conjugate guys, I do really high reps, even on their max effort days. Occasionally we'll have phases with 4s or 5s, but usually I want to do a lot of rep work. 10s, 12s, things like that after even the maxing. Okay, and the reason for that, we're in here just trying to build muscle at this point, right? We are doing max effort. So when people think in terms of the neural drive, we are maxing out. We're hitting max lifts. Okay, we need a context for that. We're hitting max lifts, guys. We don't need a lot of other heavy work. We're maxing out twice a week. Just build muscle with the other volume. Then we do speed work and other stuff, and then conditioning. This got a little out of order. This is him doing some pin good mornings. This is from the other day. They got slightly out of order. My thing did some funny stuff with the files here. I don't know why. I thought I got them all fixed, but this one's out of order. So there he is doing his good mornings. But then afterwards, of course, we did curls, and you'll see his skull crushers in here also. So I do got to chat with Ted. Like, Ted, if we're going to do vlogs, I need all this stuff one way or another. So I really wanted it in landscape, but he got some of them done in the vertical there also. But curls, skull crushers after this. And then, of course, you guys will see on the max effort upper day, we did a deficit deadlift, and he's kind of holding it in check. He's nursing a little bit of an abductor pull. And this is stuff, we deal with as a coach. He always wants to do way more stuff. And he told me, he said, yeah, but I feel like my leg days need to be like Tom Platz. I got to just trim them. I'm like, but then you keep pulling adductors. We don't need that much leg volume. We want leg volume, but we need to be able to recover from it. I'm like, you're a drug-free lifter. Okay, so, and I've shown him the same thing. I've had guys who've reached 500 squats who only do 6 or 7 sets for their quads a week. Okay, so again, we always need a context for these things. And also keep in mind, he does sled work and GPP. So then obviously for other supplemental work, just for arms, he's doing skull crushers, and I let him pick whatever sorts of curls he wants. He has good biceps, he has big arms. I let him just pick curls. I just throw curls in, and I just let him run wild with whatever he wants to be for creative on that. Because he comes up with all sorts of stuff. And that's the interesting thing, with Ted. He changes his curls all the time, yet he still has good biceps. Right? He just curls. He just does sets of curls to failure. It almost doesn't matter the variation, does it? All right, deficit deadlift. And then, of course, afterwards, he did good mornings. He's laying off just a little bit on anything hitting the quads and the adductors on these days while he's letting a little bit of a strain heal up. So, again, no need to overdo it. He can get out and push a sled. He can do his speed work, right? He can do all that stuff and still work quads. We don't have to get in doing leg presses and machines and squat pattern movements while something is healing. We can do other stuff to still work around it and build muscle. But he can go hard on posterior chains. So, of course, good mornings, glute ham raises, reverse hypers, all that stuff's still going to be in there for him, right? Our staple movements for him, they're all going to be in there. All right, then we got, there's, of course, glute ham raises. So again, for the max effort But you guys can tell, we just come in and just build muscle afterwards. I have people max out on their max effort lift, and then it's just hypertrophy work. Muscle, 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 muscle. And again, on this particular training system that works extremely well because you're just trying to get jacked. And you're trying to pick exercises, of course, that will also build whatever your weak links are there, right? So we use hypertrophy work oftentimes as just a form of assistance, right? We don't always need a lot of assistance. And I think people need to grasp, if we're going to do assistance work, right, specific assistance work on Conjugate, I usually only do it on max effort days, and it's only one exercise as a general rule. And then everything else is just hypertrophy. We just get big. And the same thing, speed days, it's nothing but dynamic work and then just straight hypertrophy training. So here he is doing his speed bench, right? And I have all his formulas for bands. Whenever he wants to set up bands, we have a different set. Otherwise, we use 50%. So if he's doing straight weight, we work with right at 50% of whatever his maxes are. And we do speed work. So the speed benching, I have him do 3 sets, close, medium, and wide. We do the same sort of other supplemental, but I have him incline bench. So instead of overhead press on dynamic effort day, we do incline, and we push it for reps, right? Incline, incline, incline for him. Again, it works, gets us to our goals, gets us what we want. So I have him do tons of incline benching, right? On this day. So 3 sets of that. So for Ted, though, I used to have him do a lot of both. Now I have him just separate them. So on max effort, I'm having him overhead press. On dynamic effort, we incline, because keep in mind, his incline and even his overhead press is particularly disproportionately strong. So I'm like, I really want you to focus on chest. So we focus on just pause benching on max effort day, right? We want pause benching. I want to build that chest, and then I have him do volume incline work for high reps on dynamic day. All right, so dynamic effort lower, we're just starting back with normal speed boxes, and then we're just doing conventional pulls here. Again, the same thing. I've told him, I'm like, look, let's just work conventional. Like, you've got an inflamed adductor. We don't need any sumo stuff. And I want him to be proficient at both, even though he's stronger on sumo. If we come up for meets here later, we need to be strong at conventional too. Plus, he does strongman. We've already done one strongman event. We're considering others. You do need to be proficient at that conventional. And then, of course, after all the dynamic work, the speed boxes, the speed pulls, we do good mornings, right? And yeah, it's a pretty decent amount of weight at this point, but we do sets of 10 plus reps, glute ham raises, reverse hypers, and we pretty much call it a day. So then you'll see his glute ham raises here. But yeah, it's good to have him back in a vlog. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. We'll have more of these to come, so I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.